with the modern innovations in material science that it would actually be possible to build a functional suit of power armor. The first type of power armor I am thinking of, I would call the Watcher armor. It's not really designed to take armor-piercing or anti-tank rounds, but would allow you to be immune to pistol rounds. The Watcher armor would use the Apple VR headset and the Apple Watch, and then some lighter body armor. To understand how body armor works, you need to understand two main concepts. The first is impact strength. Impact strength is the ability of a material to resist impact without shattering. It's not the same as hardness. The second is something called plasticity, which is the ability of a material to return to true after an impact. There are 10 levels of body armor for vehicles, the highest being level 10, which would resist a 50 cal round. Now, the augmented reality is available. You can purchase a motorcycle headset that has some augmented reality. The big weakness that a suit of power armor would have is through an attack through a chemical weapon, something like tear gas or a Molotov cocktail. Power armor's weakness in a Molotov cocktail is actually from scorching and through the lack of air, as opposed to Now, there's this Dyson headset, which of course would not resist a Molotov cocktail, but it gives you an idea of what the product would be like. Marquise Brown has a video on this, which I would watch, which you would understand the weaknesses, and it's the air seal, I believe.
Now, the timing of these was actually super unfortunate because, contrary to what you might be thinking right now, this has nothing to do with the pandemic, nothing to do with COVID. It happened to be announced right around the same time, but this is really directly advertised at people who live in or commute in cities with bad air quality, dust, pollen, smog, gas.
The Dyson's Zone headsets cost about $1,000. This type of mask costs about $100, but it does not have a fan, so it does make it very hard to breathe. The third component would be ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene, which is much lighter than any other body armor, but it does cost more. Here is polyethylene after a shear failure. I, of course, would base the body armor on William 043 because he was the strongest of the Spartans, save, of course, maybe Master Chief. But you see in most movies only frontal air filtration, whereas the more high-end have a backpack. That is, of course, what Navy SEALs and Delta use anytime they would be in a situation where they think there would be a air threat, chemical weapons, or radiologicals. There are competing products for special operations tactical respirators. The other thing that would make power armor is an exoskeleton, and there are retailly available exoskeletons. The other difference between our power armor and the rest is the outer surface would contain a row of corundum, which is one of the hardest substances known. The other difference with corundum is that its crystalline form, which makes it very impact resistant. The big weakness on a modern battlefield is RPG-7s are near on ubiquitous. The inner layer also makes the suit highly resistant to blast. It's similar, but not the same as the Mjolnir suit. The Mjolnir suit had 4 main inner layers: the skin suit, the hydrostatic gel, the polymerized lithium nabocene, and it was airtight and pressurized. This is a chart of how much damage I believe 45 will do to these different surfaces. Our inner seal would have 4 layers. The innermost would be the sensor layer, which would touch the person's body and regulate how hot or cold, and to achieve censoring of blood sugar, it would require a thing to enter the bloodstream, or fat. Below that would be a nylon suit. Then above that would be the hydrostatic gel, which would also work as a trauma pad. This entire suit would be airtight and would look very similar to the Halo inner bodysuit, and would be reinforced with carbon fiber, Kevlar, and titanium. The outer suit under the corundum Kevlar mesh would be titanium armored plates. Below the titanium armor would be ceramic plate armor, which would be our universal thing, is self-sealing armor. And I have a concept for self-sealing material that is unique, which is mainly Kevlar, so it's not as resistant as ceramic armor, but it allows the armor, after it's been penetrated with multiple machine gun rounds, to still allow the occupant to maintain in the fight. Like I said, the Kevlar is used in the self-sealing component. We would use the HoloLens 2 or the Vario XR3 with a tremble, which provides better GPS location. Now, there would be 6 different armors for the Mjolnir level. The first would be a warrant officer, which would have a backpack computer and would primarily, their duty would be to transmit from the squad level to the platoon level. There would be a either 9mm machine gun or a 50 caliber machine gun or 12.5 millimeter machine gun. There would also be a pioneer who would have multiple rounds with their shotgun, from non-lethal to slugs, and things such as dragon breath rounds, and, of course, breaching rounds. There would also be a grenadier who would have a 40 millimeter grenade launcher, which isn't quite anti-tank, and we may replace that with something like a Carl Gustav. There was also a medic who just has an SMG, but their main component is a Jaws of Life. There is also a designated marksman or sniper, and they would either have a 6.8 Creedmoor or a 8.6 Creedmoor and or the Ukrainian or Bulgarian 14.5 anti-material rifle. As I said, the warrant officer is the lightest armored, but they have the most work to do because they are the communications between the squad and platoon level. But their armor would look something more like this from the Halo show. The last thing would be a Warthog, which it would cost about $60,000 to get the base, and then it would be up armored. And then this machine gun costs probably as much as the Warthog itself. Do the things like and subscribe. If you want to help out, here's my PayPal. And if you want to contact me, my email is stillwolf_WILE@hotmail.com.